Who's the biggest winner from Week 2 Seahawks Steelers? Who is the biggest winner? Bump, I'll tell you right now, by far the most popular answer.
Well, I already know who it is.
K9.
Yeah.
Is that your biggest winner? That's mine.
No, it's not.
Tell me yours.
It's not. I think I'm big ups to K9. Love the way he got downhill. He was physical. I was worried about him at the end of the game because it was like the last drive or second, like one of those drives, and he wasn't in, and Charbonnet was in. I'm like, I thought Mike said he was going to go with the hot hand. K9's clearly the hot hand, but after listening to him in the morning show, I guess we'll go over some of his clips too. Mm-hmm. He talks about just the rotation of the running backs. But no, my biggest winner is Kubiak. It's Kubiak because he called the right game and he made the right adjustments. Everyone was getting involved. Cooper Kupp had catches. Arroyo had a couple catches. A.J. Barner had catches. Oots was physical in the run game. Yeah, it was he distributed the football, ran it correctly, made the right adjustments, and put these guys on offense in a position to win the game, whereas last week it felt very predictable and very stagnant. I did not feel that. There were times, obviously, you're not going to score on every single drive. Mm-hmm. We understand that. This is football. But the adjustments were real. So, no, I think the players should get all the glory because they're the ones executing. But I wanted to see how Kubiak was going to respond, and he did perfectly.
I will say this. At season's end, by far the most important question to answer for every franchise is, do you have the answer at quarterback? Mm-hmm. Second to that, at least for this team, with the instability they've had on offense, with the instability they've had at OC, would be, do you have an answer at OC? Mm-hmm. And I think if by season's end, or maybe even before then, we get to that point and think, yes. I think it's already a clear upgrade over Ryan Grubb and maybe like a better philosophical fit and mesh between him and Macdonald and the organization as a whole. But that's a good point to make in terms of like the most important person also to have a good week too.
Like if you have a garbage game plan, I don't care what players you have out there.
Yeah,
you ain't going to win ball games.
I said it was K9, and I don't mean to be boring. I just think this game was massive for him. First time going over 100 since week 1 of last season. I mean, already leading into this game, we were having people bump, and you saw the texting in going, should they trade K9? Now, both you and I said, no, don't be ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Now, we were both very intrigued by Charbonnet, and both of us wondering, like, well, maybe Charbonnet does start to take away some of those carries from Ken. But both of us also said, Ken is your fastest running back. He's incredibly talented. As an offensive coordinator, you need to find a way to take advantage of that. You need to find a way to take advantage of a talented running back, even if he's not perfect for your system, even if other people like Charbonnet's availability or whatever it is. Like, let's not look past how talented Ken Walker is and how much of a difference maker he can be offensively. That was this right here, especially on that 3rd and 19 play, that touchdown.
And a lot of it, too, is players got to execute. Like, I'm watching the film, and there are still some things that these guys can get better at. There are some things last week to where I say to myself, if this player does this game, or excuse me, this play probably works. Mm-hmm. And as a coordinator, you can't control that during the game, right? What you can control is the preparation throughout the week and correcting some of those things. So some of the technique faults that I saw were corrected during this game. And I think Kubiak did a good job of looking in the mirror and saying, okay, this isn't working. I got to switch it up. Yeah. You just can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and expect things to change. So, yeah, K9 was impressive. I think Sam Darnold, I know he was resilient, had 2 interceptions. Mm-hmm. One of them was on him, the one going across the field to Cooper Kupp. Jalen Ramsey undercuts it. I don't think he threw that football. The other one was just unlucky. It was the boot where the lineman gets his hand on the football. The problem with that was Oots misses the block. So then, and here's the thing I love and hate about play action, especially on the center, is that once you do the play action, Sam doesn't know what's happening behind him. You're just hoping that the influence is happening where the backers are flowing and the blocks are happening in front of you, and you turn around and then you take another picture. On that play there, Oots misses the block. Therefore, I believe it was Hayward who gets his hands up and makes a play on the football to where he was going, the guy was open. So you can pick that apart all you want to. Sometimes players are going to make plays and things happen. The first one was completely on him.
Was it a bad play call?
No, I like the call. Okay. It was a play action. It was booting out. You had your tight end in the flat, a receiver going across the field. He had options. It was open. It's just one player not doing his job derailed the whole thing.
And then maybe it's just you try to throw it away. You don't get it quite high enough. Defensive
he was
player makes a great play.
He was trying to hit him. He was trying to hit him.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell. At first I thought he was trying to throw it away. Like the play broke down and he was just trying to throw it away. And then I was like, it's like it happened in slow motion.
Yeah, he was trying to drop it over the top. And that's the thing with play action, too, is when because there are two guys who were unblocked. The guy that Utz was supposed to block was Hayward. You chop him down. Now you're one-on-one with that DN, and you have that influence. The guy who could potentially drop into the flat and jack up your arrow or your angle going into the flat. You drop it over the top of him. Like, we've seen quarterbacks execute that 100 times. Just Hayward made a heck of a play.
Mistake to rely on a rookie fullback to stop Hayward, a veteran who knows
Hayward
his
get
stuff?
chopped down. That's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. A couple more here. I saw a couple people saying Woolen. Mike Macdonald talked this morning with Brock and Salk about how Reek really bounced back.
Reek had a tough week, and I thought he played a tremendous football game. And what people don't realize is we missed a ton of tackles. CP is going to have a field day on tomorrow with the tape, but Reek's the guy that chased him down from the backside. And talking about ultimate effort, committed to the process, having your teammates back, playing with shocking effort. He does that, and he got him down. And we ended up leaving that drive with no points. So we defended a blade of grass, and Reek was the guy that there's a ton of credit on that front and helped us win the football game. So I'm really proud of Reek. He's done a great job this week.
Another popular answer defensively was Josh Jobe. Those two by far mentioned more often than any other defensive player. And then after that, everyone said Cooper Kupp. Just being able to spread the ball around, Bump, feels like a win in week 2.
Yeah, big up to Josh Jobe. I described this on the post-game show yesterday, but I'll do it again here. There was a play, and he got the slow motion. He got the replay in slow motion. He was manned up on DK. He had inside leverage, clear indication that he's a man. Inside leverage, DK tries an inside release. He protects the inside. DK does a great job with his counter move going outside. He speed turns, so that's when you're literally turning your back to the defender and getting upfield the receiver and getting upfield as fast as you can. Speed turn, still squeezes him to the sideline and eliminates him. If you are a DB coach, that is textbook. That is what you teach right there. The technique was flawless, man. I saw that in amongst some other things, and I thought to myself, this dude's competing for a starting job, and what a luxury. Right, you don't have Nick Imaware. You got Spoon, who was out. You got Kendricks, who hops in and has interceptions. Should have had 2. Mm-hmm. And Josh Jobe and Rick Woolen are competing within themselves. You're competing on the football field, but you're also trying to establish yourself as the guy. That was fun to watch, the maturation of Josh Jobe. He will get beat one day. Reek will get beat again. Nick Imaware, when he's back, he will get beat. That's the life of a DB. But in those moments, you got to highlight it.
Okay, so most popular answer on the text line was K9. Most popular defensive answer was Josh Jobe. And then a couple people said Reek Woolen as well, who obviously was kind of entering into this one with some question marks about effort, technique, those kinds of things. Cooper Kupp was mentioned on offense. Noah Callie texts in and says, underrated winner of week 2, Sam Darnold.
I agree. Bounce back. I mentioned that the 2 interceptions. One was on him. The other one was a great play by a defender. Plays like that are going to happen. There are multiple plays where the offensive line jacks up the protection, where the right side, they had a 3-man slide, you leave one guy unblocked, and Sam Darnold has to stand in the pocket and throw the football knowing that he's going to get hit.
He got hit a few times.
That big play to JSN late in the game, the 43-yard reception was huge. He gets hit right there. He stood in the pocket and made some good throws, man. He was resilient. I was looking at the text line during the game. We're at halftime. We do the halftime show. And 8 out of 10 were people ready to kick Sam to the curb. I'm glad he's on a 1-year deal. We're going to get rid of him after this year. And he was resilient. He bounced back. And it was a connection of him standing in the pocket, being tall, throwing the football, and Kubiak setting him up for success as well with that run game.